Hi, everybody. Welcome back to CashApp Live. I'm Perry. I'm the host of This Is My Bourbon Podcast. Coming to you live from Lexington, Kentucky. Jason Hale, what's going on, brother? Patrick Caskin Pixels over on Twitch. Caskin Pixels. I love that. Look at that. Brand friggin' new handle. Speaking of Twitch, thank you to Terry R. Jr. for the follow recently. Retirement activities, I love it. Absolutely love it. It's fantastic. 3 follows away on Twitch from 100. Very cool. Tore up over on YouTube. Living. Good to see you, Torup. Hope you're well. Thanks for coming back for another week, too. Max, what's going on? Howdy, y'all. Hope you're preparing for the coming weather. I am not ready for it, just in terms of mental preparations. But we have a bunch of food. And, of course, plenty of whiskey. So, what more could you need, to be honest? Let me soften this a little bit. Patrick, by the way, congratulations on your retirement, my friend. I'm so incredibly happy for you. Just absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. OF7 fall batch for me, and way better than the spring batch I had before was rough. I have not had the fall batch yet. I liked the spring batch quite a bit, especially after it opened up. But I can understand the concerns with it for sure. He's not ready to return messages about it either. Oh, about the weather? Tony, I apologize. I was finishing up work when you texted me, and I also been running around like crazy this afternoon. Fit 7, we're at Walmart of all places, $55. That is a great price. Might actually... Tony, since you said you were having 1792 foolproof, I might have some as well. Oop, I bumped right into the mic when I turned around. That was fun. Not the worst way to kick off streams. Personal news-wise. Catching up on things that have been going on in my life over the past week. Last time I saw you, actually I streamed on Saturday as well. And on Saturday, I recorded this week's episode of the podcast. So if you haven't seen that yet or listened to it, check it out. But after I got done recording that, I hung out on stream and we watched the Graham Lesh and Friends tribute to Bob Weir until the wee hours of the morning. It was very late by the time I got to bed, but it was a nice, different little stream that I did. And at that point, still had quite a sick baby, but she is finally feeling pretty much back to normal. Thank God. She had RSV, which was and is awful, and I do not recommend anybody go out looking for it. I highly recommend that you avoid that at all costs. But otherwise, oh, by the way, I will not be streaming next week. next Thursday is my wife's 33rd birthday, and so I will be celebrating that with her. I will be off that night. So no stream next Thursday. Just a scheduling note for everybody. So just a heads up for you to know. Who I'm getting the RSV. But that's about it, honestly. I don't really have much else going on. I just wanted to give you a little health update on the little one. And that's it. Happy Wifey Day. It is indeed going to be a happy Wifey Day. So let's drink. Glass is a little murky. That's okay, though. This is such an interesting 1792 foolproof. I just honestly, it's so bizarre and not at all what and I talked about it on the episode that it's kind of into like Middle Eastern spices territory, and it still is, but I'm starting to pick up on more of like some of the sweeter notes that are here on the nose too. There is a big, dark, oaky barrel note on here too, but it's very good. All right, cheers, folks. Happy Thursday. Thank you in here. And if you're watching on the replay, thank you for checking it out as well. Sorry for having to redo my flight from last week, but if you watched it, you know that my palate kind of fell apart, and I wanted to redo it because. So. Big Vic! What's going on, brother? Hope you're well. Good to see you. And cheers to you too, man. It's interesting notes you got on your pick. It's Bourbon Nights is kind of straight up 1792 alley. That's not a bad thing, though. No, not a bad thing at all, for sure. I do not have a problem with that. I don't know if I've had that particular 1792. Oh, maybe I have actually. But I could be wrong. Anyway. So before we get to like the hang on. What's going on here? That's why is it just showing a black screen? There we go. Have you heard Blink-182? Of course. I love Blink-182. What I was going to say is before we get to the news, I wanted to take a look. There it is. Look at that. Wanted to take a look at Fred Minnick's top 100 list, and not all of the top 100. I specifically wanted to look at the top 25 because It was interesting. And I think that Fred has one of the more fascinating top 100 lists, top 25 lists that come out every year. He put it out a little bit later than normal. He's got a whole blog post about what happened and why it was later than it normally is that you can go read on fredminnick.com if you're curious about it. But I just wanted to kind of go through it for those of you who haven't seen what he put on his top 25. It was a very interesting list. It just, I mean, I know that interesting is just kind of a subjective word. But let's look at this real quick. So, just right here at number 100, Sir Davis American Whiskey. I don't even know what that is. Let's just... Oh, is this the... Oh, come on. Leave me alone. Okay, it is what I thought it was. It's the Beyonce, the Beyonce whiskey. So, kind of crazy that it placed at all. But other noticeable ones. Willet Small Batch 4-year. Blue Note Special Reserve. Interesting. Sealbox Private Reserve 8-year made it on there at 72. Woodinville 8-year rye. Nice. Bullet Cast Strength Bourbon. Okay. Old Granddad 16-year at 57. One of my favorites, Jefferson's Reserve Cast Strength Bourbon at 46. And then we'll just go ahead and jump on down to, and my number one, Jack 14, he put it number 28. But we'll just jump on down. Here's the image of his top 25. I've heard decent things on the Sir David, and Dr. Bill knows what he's doing for sure. Fair enough. I mean, that's completely fair. I had not heard spectacular things about it, but that's not to say that it isn't, you know. So, as you can see, the 2025 George T. Stagg took the number one spot, but we're going to go through it 25-1. 25 Heaven Hill Unity Kentucky Straight Bourbon, 107 proof. That was the blending of barrels that came from, what was it, Parker Beam. Why can't I think of the distiller in the middle? Denny Potter. Wow. Absolutely could not pull out his name to save my life. And now I can't remember the current one either. How are we doing here? We're doing really good. Things are fabulous for your boy. He'll come to me. Anyway, the three past master distillers, current, previous, and the one third most recent. 24 Buzzards Roost Cigar Rye, 105 proof, $100. 23 Brothers Bond, bottled and bond, 7-year Indiana bourbon. Connor O'Driscoll, thank you. Why on earth was it just... It was like right on the tip of my tongue, and I could not, for the life of me, get it out. There was a lot of talk this year about his number 22, the Lasso Motel 18-year American whiskey. I felt like I saw it not necessarily on a bunch of lists, but I remember seeing it at least in the middle of the year, being discussed for some reason, and people talking about how you need to pay attention to it and at least try to find it. I don't think it was one of the ones that I tried from the IWSC, but it's interesting that it popped back up at this point. 21 Woodford Sweet Oak, 110.4 proof. I firmly disagree with that. I thought that was a pretty rough bourbon. Maybe it did spectacularly well in a blind, though. Who's to say? Booker's 2501, 125.7 proof. Okay. Frank August Batch 5. 5/9. Frey Ranch Harvester Series. Okay. Four Roses Limited Edition Small Batch, 109 proof. The Compromise Blended Whiskey of Rye and Bourbon, 122.6. Ass Pocket Whiskey, APW, 15-year, 107 proof, $200, sold as a 2-pack. K. Luke Batch 14 Blended Bourbon, 117 proof. Angel's Envy Cast Strength at number 13, 122.6 proof. I don't remember hearing a whole lot about this year's Angel's Envy Cast Strength. I don't know what to make of what is going on in general with Angel's Envy in general, whether they are doing anything of note. I don't even know. Is there an age statement on that bourbon? Just out of curiosity. Oh, there is. 10 years old. For 10 years old, and it's $250? That's crazy. ABW, yeah. It's awfully steep, but it's 10 years old and well made. If you've got the money and love these annual releases, you'll be pleased with your purchase. Okay. That's a lot of bottles for how expensive it is. I mean, that is not that is not a small batch. It feels like, but interesting. Anyway, number 12, barrel 12-year French oak finish, 115 proof, 11 Master's Keep Beacon. That is the one where I really, really wish I had gotten to try it last year. Really wish I had. Dark Arts Armagnac finish, 16 years, 125.2 proof. Bourbon Deluxe 8-year, batch 2, 119 proof. 2 Booker's releases in the top 25. That's wild. Batch 1 and batch 3. Let's go to Lawrenceburg. I don't know if they have any still. Also, $360 is crazy for a Master's Keep. Maker's Mark Keeper's release, 109. Tasting Bar? Oh, true. True. Bardstown Bourbon Company, Double Barrel Discovery Series, number 13. 110.8 proof. Into his top 5, Heaven Hill 90th Kentucky Straight Bourbon, 107 proof. I mean, the 90th was really good. This is it's amazing how this blind turned out for him. And I know that this is just an easy way to say, well, you got to try it blind. You know, you never know how it's going to do until you try stuff blind. Brother Justice Founders Reserve American Single Malt. An American Single Malt in the top 5 is wild. That's cool. Number 3, Baumburger's PFG Kentucky Straight Bourbon, 100.2 proof. Number 2, Sazerac 18-year rye, 90 proof. And number 1, of course, the George T. Stagg, 142.8 proof. Now, I want to point something out, and I think this is going to be not necessarily point something out, but at least like talk about this right here. I've been formulating what I think is going to be my next Substack essay, Substack piece. Where was William Heavenhill? Let's see. Did it make it on the list at all? He didn't like the William Heavenhill, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it's not even on the list. Anyway, my next piece, essay, article, whatever you want to call it, for the Substack, which if you're not subscribed to yet, if you're not following, it's mybourbonpod.substack.com. I know it's original, but it is what it is. Will be decidedly less pointed in terms of trying to look at the economy and make any kind of statement there. But I'm thinking of writing about, and it's not in direct response to a piece that Michael Veach wrote somewhat recently, where he was criticizing higher proof bourbon and whiskey, but he was saying in so many words that he doesn't. Let me see if I can find this article. That he takes issue with higher proof stuff because he doesn't think that you can taste it as much once it gets to such a high proof. Here it is. It's not a very long article. I'm a firm believer that President Taft, in his decision on whiskey in 1909, was right when he said that drinkable whiskey was between 90 proof and 110. I believe that the sweet spot is 100 proof whiskey. It has plenty of flavor, and I find it very drinkable. Once you get above 110 proof, you start getting in the range where the first drink numbs your taste buds, and you don't taste the whiskey for what it is. I have seen many YouTube videos where they're reviewing drinkers. What does he link here? Is it his own channel? Oh, yeah. Where the reviewing drinkers talk down whiskeys that are not 125 or higher proof. This I find ridiculous, and I wonder about their taste. High proof can be barrel proof, but I am not more impressed with a barrel proof whiskey that is in the 110 proof range than the whiskeys that are in the 125 or higher range. That generally means that either the whiskey has a lower barrel proof entry or is aged in the lower levels of the warehouse where the proof drops with time and aging. Find that high proof whiskey tends to be more barrel driven in flavor and tends to have more bitter wood tannins in the whiskey. Wood tannins in the correct amount are good, but when they dominate the flavor, the whiskey gets bitter and burns more on the taste. Tannins are, after all, tannic acid, and that tends to burn the throat. High proof whiskey is often referred to as hazmat whiskey, and I think this is a good term for the whiskey. I don't want to drink a hazmat whiskey. I prefer a whiskey that is in the drinkable proof as described by President Taft. Write what you want, how you want. That's the friggin' point. Did you ever meet up with that guy, by the way? Just a yes or no question. Don't need to dive in again. Not yet. It was a scheduling thing, but not yet. Yawn. Yawn, I feel like, is the correct response here. Also, hello, Clifton. Good to see you. I read this, And my initial thought was, this seems to take not into account what the current day iteration of bourbon and whiskey is, and the ways in which it has been refined to actually functionally exist at a higher barrel proof. Also, Emily has shared the Substack link, and I appreciate it. I love 100 proof. It's my go-to. I love 100 proof as well. But I think that this take of, I don't want to drink the high proof stuff because it hurts, is just a little dismissive and doesn't actually represent what is widely, assumed to be some of the better products that are on the market. I need to flesh out my ideas a little bit better for this piece, because right now I'm just going I don't agree with them. But this is also Michael Veach. He is a widely regarded whiskey writer. It would be just kind of a random hot take for me to come out and be like, yeah, I don't agree with him. I have to actually find something to stand firmly on here. But it is just ridiculous to straight up say, I don't want to drink it. I'm not opposed to the argument for not dismissing lower proof whiskey, but to complain that it burns just sounds like you're inexperienced. I don't disagree with that. But again, this is Michael Veach, who has been in the who has been a whiskey writer, longer than my show has been around, longer than I've been drinking whiskey, and does have what I would argue to be a wide berth of work that is worth diving into. I'm not saying he's right just because of the amount of time that he's spent in the industry, but I need a better response than just going, sounds dumb. I like some high proof too, but not a reason alone to seek out just for proof. Of course, yeah. I think that when you're drinking high proof just to drink high proof, that's a different problem altogether. That's a different conversation to be had. But when you are drinking a specific proof, maybe because that is your sweet spot, like you were talking about, Emily, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, because that's where you find it to be the most enjoyable for you. I myself think that barrel proof bourbon is the most intentional way to enjoy bourbon or whiskey. It is what the distiller intended for it to taste like. It is how it was supposed to come out of the barrel. And that was how you were likely intended to enjoy it. Now, I'm not saying that it has to come to you in the bottle with chunks of barrel char and not go through filtering and everything. But in this case, I don't know. But at the same time, there's that argument of, well, just enjoy it how you want to. I get that too. But lots of nuance to discuss. I know the name, but sounds like he's selective on what he tries to have an opinion like that. It's completely possible. It's completely possible. But just looking at, somebody like Fred, who I think is also highly regarded, in a blind, having a truly hazmat whiskey, not hazmat in this generalized sense of the term that Michael Veach puts it here, but one that is actually above 140 proof, wind up being his number one is it's interesting. You know, I think that there's something to be said about the craft of this here. That I don't know. I don't know what Veach's thoughts are on the GTS from 2025. I don't know if he reviewed it. I'll look into it more for sure before I start writing, but it's curious, you know. So anyway, those are my thoughts, and kind of a winding, curvy way of looking at Fred's top 25 through some commentary. Best whiskey is the whiskey you like, the way you like to drink it. I'm looking at you, Shy Guy, wherever you are. I don't know where Shy Guy is tonight. I agree, drink what you like, how you like, but stating an opinion like it's a fact rather than just I prefer lower proof is the wrong way to go about it. I completely agree with that, Clifton. I completely agree with that. A lot of the Scotch world would argue that they have to find the best proof for each product when they are not doing something just for profit maximization. On that is enough. Often enough, not cast strength. I think you also make a very good point, Max, there too, because of the fact that, you know, not and my my assertion of saying that I think that barrel proof is the most like well-intended way to drink a bourbon or a whiskey. It doesn't necessarily always hold up. I don't think that's entirely like a foolproof statement. I think that some and probably more than I am even like experienced with in some cases, because there are a lot of barrel proof bourbons that I just drink as they are, where they do drink better with lower full proof. Didn't even mean to do that pun. But they might drink better with more water added to them because there is something that winds up opening up or being more expressive because there is water that has been added. But all that being said, I mean, it's a much more nuanced. Emily, is it your birthday? Is it your birthday? Happy birthday if it's your birthday. Oh my gosh. Now I feel like a bad friend. But I feel like it's a much more nuanced conversation than saying, like, lower proof is just better. There are plenty of lower proof bourbons that I like, that I think do function exceptionally well at 90, 100, 107. Like, not everything has to be a screamer, you know? It is what it is. I'm willing to admit that. So anyway, let's move on to the actual news of the week. Talk about what's been happening. Not a whole lot of like news. Been a little bit slower this week. So we'll go through it. But oh, right. You probably have seen this already, but I wanted to make sure that I covered it just in case you haven't. New Riff's Balboa Rye is coming back. The rye that was first released in 2019 and continues to be a part of Newport's distillery, the Newport Distillery's rotation, rather. It was the starting point for our exploration into heirloom grains, and it remains one of the most meaningful whiskeys we make, said Master Distiller Brian Sprance. With this release, we can really taste the difference between heirloom rye and our flagship rye, from texture to flavor to overall character. I believe it's on sale tomorrow, actually. In the gift shop, online, and at select retail locations throughout New Riff's distribution network, beginning tomorrow, Friday, January 23rd at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for $60 a bottle. So if you have not had it before, it is a fantastic rye whiskey. I am a big fan of this. I think everybody who has it is pretty enamored with it, honestly. So I would highly recommend that if you haven't had a chance to check it out, I would. Yes, all day is your birthday. Also, stupid StreamYard's doing the catch-up thing again. TL Berg, once the entry proof standard went up to 125, it takes a cask strength to realize its fullest flavor. Lower entry proofs from decades ago achieved that at a lower proof. Completely agree with you. There's nothing wrong with that by any means. And I think that there is something to absolutely be said about difference in entry proof flavor profiles that absolutely have a variance in quality or, expressiveness. Yeah. Cheers, everyone. Cold AF in Michigan tonight. Stay warm out there, Thomas Anderson. Good to see you. No, it's fine. I'm just new vintage now. Well, happy birthday to you, Emily. Thank you for being here on your birthday and for celebrating it with the 10-Bip community, of course. But yeah, the YouTube chat is doing that dumb thing on StreamYard where it's taken a long time to update. So, also, did I say hi to you, Joe? I don't know if I did, but hi to Joe, the sample guy. So, I think I'm gonna have to pop out the chat again. StreamYard needs to get it figured out, man. I'm telling you, I don't know what's going on. There's a Madeira finish barrel Hungarian oak. I'm gonna make offerings to Sample Fairy. That sounds so nice. That looks a little better. Not a bunch of text over top of it. Hold on. I'm going to fix this. I'm going to make this look better. There we go. Is that better? I don't know. Mr. Mom. Cheers, everyone, from the soon-to-be frozen tundra of northeastern Oklahoma. Stay warm out there, Mr. Mom. Hope you have a wonderful night. And thank you so much for being here. I know that it is supposed to be absolutely miserable in Oklahoma very soon, as it is in Minnesota. And just as Thomas Anderson said, Michigan is looking to be pretty rough, too. Thursdays are for 10-Bip and Bourbon Bites. You are correct. So I wanted to highlight this because it looks like all of the speculation and the curiosity behind whether or not Makers was going to actually continue to put the age statement on the cask strength was going to continue. Apparently it is. Apparently it's going to keep happening with their new releases. And it's very funny, though, that my favorite reporter at the Herald Leader in Lexington, here in Lexington, rather, Janet Patton, with her headline, said, "This year's Maker's Mark cask strength to include bourbon age, comma, proof." We don't normally get the proof on bourbon bottles, Janet. What the heck? That's interesting. But she's reporting this as if this is the first time that it's happened, but of course, 2025-01 was the first time that we had an age statement on Maker's Mark cask strength at 7 years, 2 months. But it looks as if this year's release is going to be 7 years and 1 month. 7 years and 1 month. This is such an interesting piece. I love it so much. Maker's Mark has added a new level of transparency to its annual cask strength bottle. This year's release, which is hitting shelves now, is aged between 7 and 8 years. Is considered the sweet spot for Maker's Mark, a premium Kentucky bourbon. It's bottled in small batches, so the bottles will carry specific age and proof statements this year, according to a news release. Why are we highlighting that it's going to have the proof on the bottle? What's going on? Janet, I love you. This is very funny, though. This year's version is between 107 and 114 proof. What is this? I see the guitars in the back. Are you in a band or play for fun? I have not played in a band in a while, but I do put out music, as Emily highlighted at perryritter.bandcamp.com. You can also, I think you can find everything streaming on every, or the at least the album that I put out and the most recent single on streaming sites. I think she's a year behind. There you go, Paris. She's just saying that the proof is going to vary from batch to batch. I think that is what she's saying, but it's just a very funny way to phrase it, as if like she's as if there's going to be, for the first time ever, the proof of the bourbon on there. And $50 a bottle, of course. And for all of us beer drinkers, one of my favorite local breweries, Kentucky, well, Alltech, but Lexington Brewing and Distilling, goodness gracious, who makes way better beer than they do bourbon. Just gonna say that. I'm gonna put that out there. I don't think Janet knows whiskey. Janet actually does know whiskey quite well. This was just I think she just this felt like a rush article for some reason. I'm willing to give her the benefit of the doubt because she has done some excellent reporting. Definitely calling you Paris from now on. You wouldn't be the first one. She has done some excellent reporting, especially on the distilleries that have closed over the past year. She's broken a lot of that news. She also was the first person to interview, who was the master distiller that was at Garrett County for like a week before she left. I can't remember, but she does. In fact, she does know whiskey. It's just I think that article was a bit misrepresentative of what she is aware of. But anyway, Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Toasted Stout. It's a 10% ABV beer and aged 100% in freshly decanted Kentucky bourbon barrels. It's going to be available from January through April with an estimated 4,500 cases available to the U.S. market. The stout has a suggested retail price of $16 for a 4-pack. And according to official notes from the brand, the beer has an opaque midnight black with a cappuccino-like head. Okay. And last but not least for the news before we check out the TTB labels of the week, this popped up from Yahoo Life. The sourced bourbon with a cult following worth hunting for yourself. Now, folks, take your guess. Take a. Oh, I've just revealed it. Well, if you weren't reading, you don't know what it is. Take a guess. Toasted, you say? Yummy? Oh, yeah. Just curious what anybody might think this sourced bourbon with a cult following worth hunting for yourself might be, according to Martha Brennan from Yahoo Life. Anybody, anyone, take a wild guess here. Before I do the reveal. Anyone? No? Maybe Janet had been sampling too much of the press release bottle of Makers while composing the article. I mean, hey. Could have been. No, I love Janet. I'm going to have her on a stream sometime soon. Going to talk about her reporting on the industry over the past year. Hold on. Angel's Envy? It is not Angel's Envy. But here's what Martha Brennan says. The world of bourbon can be a little overwhelming. There are so many options available on shelves today from all over the country, each promising an unforgettable sip and smooth finish. But if you are on the hunt for a new bottle, then there is one sourced bourbon worth trying out if you can find it. Now, this would imply that this bourbon is new and available, but also you have to look for it. And if you do find it, you can pick it up, and you should, right? Right? Martha Brennan says. Batch 23 from Barrel Bourbon. But if you are on the hunt for a new bottle, then there is one sourced bourbon worth trying out if you can find it. Dog, I think ChatGPT wrote this. The M dash is in here. AI wrote this article. A blend of multiple straight bourbon whiskeys from a selection of 10, 12, and 15-year-old barrels. Batch 23 is an award-winning bourbon crafted in Kentucky. The blend, which is distilled and aged between Kentucky, Tennessee, and Indiana. What? So what is it? Is it Kentucky, Tennessee, and Indiana? Or is it 10, 12, and 15-year-old barrels crafted in Kentucky? AI makes the whiskey now, Perry? And that's the thing. They're on 37 now. mingled together for months to heighten its complexity, leading to a rich, layered spirit that continues to change as you sip. The notes include everything from cinnamon donuts and maple syrup to tropical fruit, walnut, leather, and mushrooms. This is a bourbon for people who like to be surprised and for those who appreciate older stocks. However, even if you are just a curious bourbon novice, this is one of the sourced bourbons you should consider trying if you can get your hands on it. It is word salad, exactly. The issue is that the batch was released all the way back in 2020, and the company has gone on to work on many other batches since. So why not highlight the ones that they've worked on since? Ugh. Wait, this was a sourced article from Tasting Table? Brian, it's good to see you. I asked AI a while ago what the best whiskey released in 2024 was, and all but one were from 2022 or earlier. It recommended a 2001 Van Winkle. Batches. We don't need no stinking batches. A bit of bourbon, Brian Bikey. Very good to see you, brother. Hope you're well. I cannot believe that this clearly AI article was just copied and pasted over to Yahoo Life. Did you try Blade and Blow 30? I did not. I did not get the chance to. I would love to, though. All right, let's move on from that crap. Speaking of new Riff, I'm going to move on to the TTB labels of the week. I read that, Brian, what was the one review? Blink 3 times to verify you're not AI as well. Oh, no. I forgot. Oh, God. What do I do? How do I do it? Ah! It genuinely, like, screwed up my eyes. That felt weird. That's the real life, like, click here if you're not a robot. Probably didn't make Minnick's list either. I mean, if I had tried the thing, it's all AI. It is weird because I've hugged you. It's giving Bird Box. It really made my eyes feel strange. Like both wet and dry at the same time. I don't know what that means. I really don't know what that means, but that's how they feel. They feel like sticky. That's what she said? Yeah. If it's not one of you, it's all of you. All right. New Riff, in harmony with Rheingeist, a Cincinnati brewer, whose beer I really like, that I've asked you, Doctor, if Link is right for you. Okay. Uh, Duet American whiskey. Duet brings together two greater Cincinnati favorites to create a unique American whiskey that celebrates shared passion and craft. Two types of barley, a key grain in brewing. This barrel-proof blend spotlights the shared roots of beer and whiskey after aging for at least 6 years in a variety of cask types. New Riff distillers and Rheingeist brewers selected standout barrels that were married together and further aged at Rheingeist in a large fooder, creating a spirit that reflects the character of Cincinnati and northern Kentucky. At least 6 years old, 100 proof, and apparently barrel-proof without chill filtration. Not a bourbon, an American whiskey. Beer doesn't sound too bad. Sipping a garage lime right now, I could totally go for a Cincy Light, which is from Rheingeist. Wilmington Piper, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Did I miss? Is this your first message tonight? No, I think you're just showing up for the first time. Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Old WP. I don't know what this is supposed to be or why this is a thing, but I'm curious, and I kind of want a bottle of it. Limited release Governor's Pick single barrel Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. It's for the governor of Kentucky, Andy Beshear. He picked it himself. It's from Log Still Distillery. Don't give the dadgum Kelsey's money. I was so close to buying garage beer till I learned the truth. 115 proof. In the spirit of democracy, this special barrel was personally selected by Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear at Log Still Distillery, crafted with care and rooted in our Commonwealth's proud bourbon tradition. This one-of-a-kind selection is a tribute to unity, leadership, and the enduring spirit of the bluegrass. Okay. Somebody's not happy about this. Black Magic Spirits, the Darkest Berry series, straight Kentucky bourbon whiskey, 141 proof. I don't know what this is. I think it's very funny that it says straight Kentucky bourbon whiskey, though, and not Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. Black Magic Spirits, though. It's very funny. Short barrel, double oak bourbon, straight bourbon, finished in French oak. Very cool. 8 years old, 2 barrels, 24 months finished. I don't know what this is. Potato. Yeah, that's true. Reservoir Distillery with a daggum possum on the label. From Richmond, Virginia. It's not even straight bourbon. Since 2008, Reservoir Distillery in Richmond, Virginia has distilled some of the finest whiskey in America. The world's most dangerous bourbon bar. Most dangerous bar? The world's most dangerous bar bourbon whiskey. That's what it's called? Here's a pour everyone can reach for. All craft, all character, no inflated price tag, just honest whiskey without the velvet rope. Reservoir Possums was a much worse movie. Finest, yeah. It's branded for George Jones. Wait. Crafted whiskey, distilled, aged, and bottled by Reservoir Distillery, LLC, Richmond, Virginia, and blended with bourbon distilled in Kentucky and Indiana? I don't think you can have those things in the same sentence on a TTB label. Also, what up, Ben? Good to see you. Craft whiskey, distilled, aged, and bottled, distilled and aged. So confused. None of this makes any sense, man. It's so confusing. Let me get rid of my overlay. It's distracting. Old Dominic stuff. Still wondering what happened to the 1792 15 year that was supposed to be released last summer. Was that last summer that it was supposed to come out? 2025 taught me you can do anything. That is true. What was it that Three Chord did? They released something called a double bonded rye. TTB stopped reading the labels they approve in 2020. That's fair. My tab was open for you but didn't load. What's good, homies? Shy Guy, good to see you, brother. Hope you're well. Hope you've had a wonderful night. And thanks for being here. Old Dominic stuff. Trendy Lab Series. Hybrid cask. Bourbon whiskey finished in American and French oak hybrid barrels. 115 proof. This is very interesting. And then Tennessee straight whiskey finished in new char oak barrels at 110 proof. So interesting. This caught a lot of people's eye this week. 40-year anniversary of Elmer T. Lee single barrel. At barrel proof. So, what, mash bill 2? Barrel proof, so Blanton straight from the barrel. Hand selected from Buffalo Trace's finest barrels, each bottle of Elmer T. Lee single barrel carries his legacy as the pioneer who introduced the world to single barrel bourbon. Upon his retirement, he was honored with his own namesake bottling, which he continued to influence through personally selecting barrels throughout the rest of his life. 40 years later, this uncut and unfiltered commemorative release preserves that original vision, honoring the tradition established by Elmer T. Lee. $300. Yeah. Oh, Kyle said Blanton straight from the barrel, punch in the air right now. I mean, that's what it's going to be. I've always dreamed of mash bill 2 barrel proof. Brian, I have got something. I've got a bridge I could sell you. I mean, what's the point? Just do a really good. I don't know. Maybe it's just different parts of the Rick House or something. I don't know. Angel's Envy Cellar Collection, Volume 6, straight rye whiskey, finished in peach brandy. Peach brandy? And toasted oak barrels. 106 proof. Non-age stated. Blue Note Cask Finish Series. One of these ones that's got a crazy list of things that they aged it in. Last year's was really good. Curious what this year's is going to look like as well. I'm still waiting for their Crossroads Cast Strength French Oak finished. But yeah, last year's was really good. Ass Pocket Whiskey. 20-year-old cast strength Tennessee whiskey. The whiskey type Let's maybe go back to just naming whiskey after people. I don't have a problem with Ass Pocket Whiskey. I think it's fun. It's a great name. It's Derek Trucks' whiskey. Sealbox double stacked straight burn whiskey finished in maple syrup barrels. This sounds amazing. Very excited for this, especially if it's going to be 120 proof. Brian, can we get a confirmation on the proof here? Wait, so I can have Dickel in my ass pocket? You can. Blue Note Cigar Batch was good and a bargain. Why did that not highlight? Okay, please stop doing that. Brian? Band of Bourbon? Brian? Bikey? Hello? Going once? Going twice? Okay. Dream Spirits Evolution Barrel. I doubt it's going to be 140 proof, but apparently it's 9 years old. I love the Dream Spirit stuff. I'm going to be having some here in just a bit as part of my beam flight. I don't know what this is. More AI crap. Branch and barrel granny gear. Awful. Straight bourbon whiskey finished in Belgian strong ale casks. I'm going to heat up some sausage. Tony, we don't need to know what you're doing in your personal time, my friend. Awful. And then last but not least, Abraham Bowman Virginia Limited Edition Whiskey. Special release. 11 and a half years old. 118 proof. Whiskey finished in sherry cask. You speak for yourself. I like knowing what Tony's doing. I mean, you do you, brother. Just seemed like a lot of personal information. Mr. Mom, that is in fact a hot dog. And folks, that is all the news that is fit to print this week on the podcast. Nope, the live stream. But got a redo for last week's flight because my palate just completely crapped the bed for whatever reason. But this week, I'd rather know where Tony is. Also, an important question. I am always curious and need to know of Tony's location. It's a proper and I would say important question for those of us who are curious. Why did that question go to? We need to know what Tony puts on his sausage. That didn't go to YouTube for some reason, but it went to StreamYard. See, once again, you're telling us about you're crabbing in a bucket, but you've got issues with Tony's sausage. Interesting. What? Where's Tony like Waldo? Yeah, for some reason, this comment made it to StreamYard. Mustard. Thank you, Tony. Goodness gracious. Oh, man. All right. We're going to do this for real this time. We're going to actually drink. Sourced beam and beam from the source, as it were. Because I was supposed to do it last week, like I said, and my palate just kind of fell apart. I don't know why exactly what happened there. But after a week, things feel better. My palate feels more normal. So what I'm going to be doing is some Beam single barrel. Okay, the 108 proof. We got some. Where are you? Knob Creek single barrel. And then we got some. Can we refer to Tony as Colonel Mustard now? Sure, why not? As long as he says that's fine. I want to go first here. Let's go here first. Then I've also got a selection of sourced beam barrels, most of which are from Rare Character. I've got one from Dream Spirits. I cannot show you, unfortunately, the Rare Character labels because they've all been given to me. But the first one is 8BL. And this is the 7813.9 Beam Mash Bill. It is 126.7 proof and 8 years, 2 months. Source beam is in fact beam from the source. This reminds me of an argument I had with AI this morning. What are you doing arguing with AI? I've had a few of those JB single barrel bottles that were pretty tasty. I like them a lot. As long as you do it in the parlor with a candlestick. What's going on here? So, I don't know where that candle's... Mr. Mom, you have just slotted yourself right into the humor that a lot of the chat normally has, and it is very funny. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Stacy, 4-Leaf Whiskey. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Picked up one last year at a Kroger in Kentucky for $19. $43 in Michigan. That's too much in Michigan. It's like $26 usually that I see it for here in town. $43 is way too much. There's that classic beam. So, when you... This is a question for the chat. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat. When you swirl your whiskey glass, which way do you normally go? Do you normally go counterclockwise or clockwise? And do you find a noticeable difference when you swirl it one way or another? I normally swirl mine up and down. That's very funny. When you say up and down, I mean, are you literally like that? Counterclockwise and no? And often vigorously. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. Whatever SOB tells me to do. That's funny. Goes everywhere, even sometimes my mouth. The real question is, do you cup the base when you swirl it? This one smells very nutty. Sometimes gaze at it lovingly and imagine it swirling in a meadow. You know, sometimes you realize that you made a mistake by asking a question to a chat full of heathens. I love y'all. You keep Thursdays fun. I cannot remember if I said this last week. If I did, I'm going to say it again because it's not like that tasting segment of that stream counted all that much. I think the 108 beams that those single barrels are so underrated and should be celebrated so much more. Like, I just think that people are sleeping on them across the board. Like, what are we doing by not enjoying them more often? And that, you know what, honestly, going back to the high proof, low proof conversation we were having at the beginning of the stream, that at 108 sometimes drinks better than a Knob Creek single barrel does. Like, high proof hot take coming from the guy who is an eternal fan of Knob Creek single barrel. But yeah, keep Thursday the chaotic. I'm capable of blinking 3 times. Oh, yes. The most underrated beams were the discounted 94 proof white label single barrels. Those were so good. Those were incredible. I loved those. I only ever had like a couple of those bottles, but they were always absolutely amazing. They were fabulous, fabulous bourbons. Thank God the Knob Creek smells good this week. It's last week, this is where things went severely downhill. So tingly. Made my mouth tingly. Man. Knob Creek single barrels. There are some real stinkers at 9 years old. But You find the right ones, and they're still incredible. Can we get cast strength 14 and 15 year Knob Creek single barrels? All will be right in the bourbon world again. So, I learned earlier this week that, unfortunately, I did not know this, all Knob Creek picks, I heard those Beam Pin bottles were terrible last year. I thought they were pretty good. I had one time, and I thought it was exactly what it needed to be. I did not think it was. I thought it was exactly as good as it should have been. But anyway, all Knob Creek picks. Would you say that things went a rye or a bourbon? Back when they were 12 to 17 years old, Perry, did you ever have a bad one? No. No, I did not. Unfortunately. You know, they had to have been losing money on those barrels. They had to have been losing money on those barrels. And I think, I guarantee you, that's why they made the shift to the 12, the 15, the 18-year batches. Because they knew they could charge a premium price with that age statement. Whereas if they hiked up the price of the single barrels, people would lose their minds. There was no way that they could do that. But if they pulled all that old stock for those batches and just gave us the 9 and the 10-year barrels, they could actually go back to making money on double-digit age-stated bourbon again. That has to be why they did that. I would be surprised if that were not the reason. Like, genuinely, I would be surprised. But anyway, what I learned earlier this week, and I did not know this. This is probably just a blind spot for me, but I thought that we were getting Knob Creek cast strength picks alongside the Knob Creek 120 proof picks. Like, I thought they were going to exist in tandem with each other. I did not realize that those picks are now only cast strength. And so if you see these picks that are like 116, 117 proof, that's what we're getting from now on. Until they either decide to reverse that decision or they decide to put them out side by side. That's insensitive? What do you mean? I don't think Beam's ever let a bottle out the door where they've lost money, at least not in the last 20 years. I just think even if they weren't losing money on those barrels, they had to have looked at them and said we could get more out of them. Does that make sense? Don't know why I'm yawning. All right, let's go to the first source. Again, 128 proof. A blind spot? Oh, I'm sorry. Sometimes, Tony, you just say things and you don't realize that you said them. So I apologize. Words just slip out of your mouth from time to time. I've got 120 proof picks on this new stuff. I've gotten 127 proof. They're all over the board. Yeah. It's funny though because like I feel like the majority of picks that I have seen around Lexington have been sub 120 proof. And like the highest proof I think I've probably seen has been 121. Thought you're actually going to hit us with some wisdom? No, I was just talking about what I had found out for myself. Something I had found out that I did not know personally. They got people to buy Claremont Steep. They made money off of actual garbage. Claremont Steep is rough. As long as things aren't slipping into your mouth. Mm-hmm. Now that is like true through and through what I think of when I think nutty Jim Beam. Oh, Ben, are you in trouble with Stacy? Bourbon, please come to the principal's office. Bourbon, please come to the principal's office. Thank you. It's sweet. It's peanut buttery. It's got that perfect balance of oak. Very much what I'm thinking of when I think the Jim Beam profile. And it's not to say that at 108 proof you're not getting that experience. Because you absolutely are. But it's almost like a more immediate reaction and an immediate experience once you go to the cast strength version of it, the barrel proof version of it, that somebody like Rare Character offers, you know. I want to try this this Dream Spirits one up next to it as well. This is a pick I talked about last week but didn't get to actually try. I don't think. Claremont Steep is rough. It's probably the reason they had to shut down Claremont. They had to burn the place down just to fix the place after making that trash. Top 3 worst whiskeys I've ever had. I don't know if I'd say it was one of the worst whiskeys I've ever had, but it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. I was gonna clean out my glass. But this is a 9-year, 120.2 proof beam sourced barrel. Again, from Dream Spirits. Picked by my friends at the Blind Rabbits. I cannot show you the label on the back, or the sticker on the back, but I can show you the label itself. Because the sticker on the back is a little risque. Ugh. Oh no. Oh no. There we go. Keyboard fell asleep. I'm gonna actually just go back through this from the beginning. Because I like this actual flight. Also, just a good way to show, honestly, how vibrant Beam can be at so many proof points. 108, 120. Blind Rabbits put out 2 CDs in the mid to late 80s, Blind Rabbits and Blind Rabbits 2. Hey, Papa Ritter's here. Hi, Dad. Everybody say, hey, Papa Ritter. Hey, Papa Ritter. Prov Spirits. It is Prov, but you know. I hope we're doing well and getting ready for the storm. I am not mentally prepared for this storm. Not mentally prepared at all. But you got plenty of whiskey. Hi, Dad. I just love that kick up into Knob Creek. Like once it gets into Knob Creek single barrel, it's so much more of a spice and flavor bomb. Like okay. I really just need to keep I'll buy you a bottle of Beam if you shovel my driveway. And it's just Beam white label too. He's like, hey, cool. I can warm up now, and he chugs the whole thing. But yeah, once it like actually once it moves its way up into the 120 proof range, just does something magical. But what I was gonna say is I need to just keep it doesn't work logistically, but if my dad were as cool as you, Papa Ritter, I just need to keep the 108 single barrel on retainer more, because it's so just because it's so good, and such a different. He did not specify what beam will be there tomorrow. And again, just such a great representation of beam, even at a lower proof. Oh, I haven't had the Dream Spirits in so long. It's a little more off profile for beam, honestly. Slightly more fruity, a little more cereal than peanut buttery, than nutty, but still really good. All things considered, you know. Count Chocolate, not quite, even though there is a good amount of chocolate on the finish. It's really just kind of like whole grain cereal, I suppose. It's kind of like a banana nut muffin on the palate, with that chocolate too on the finish. It's a really good pick. I'm glad I had 2 bottles. I'm getting close to being done with my second one. Got a 4-hour long MRI tomorrow. Fun times. Oh, dude. Oh, Shy Guy. That sounds awful. I'm sorry. Bottle of Lineage it is then, and I shovel for the rest of winter. Shy Guy's going to load up a couple of old episodes of the podcast and and zone out. Open MRI, so I won't be squished as much, but open MRI does not get to listen to music the whole time. Ugh. I wish. What you're not telling us, though, is that even though you don't get to listen to music, you still get to like play video games. So you bring in your Game Boy. Listen to your podcast would be a chill time. I appreciate that, man. It'd be so funny. You're like, can I boot up Dr. Mario? MRI means no electronics. Yeah, I'm joking. Flat on your back for 4 hours. Goodness gracious. Horrible. I say that, and that's just like a long nap. All for spine and brain. Oh. Had one last May and it didn't last longer than a half hour, but I fell asleep anyway. That is true. You did do that. I could probably fall asleep during an MRI. At least these days I could. Like maybe 10 years ago, I don't know if I could. But I definitely could nowadays. Go see the hemorrhoid doctor tomorrow? Heck yeah, man. Let's go. So, everybody's getting it all out of the way. Thomas Anderson, I hope everything is okay. I know the pain, yeah. Viper didn't show up, so which one of you reprobate said RC Cola is wrong while Perry was recording? That was Shy Guy? Yeah. Shy Guy did not like the fact that I said RC Cola during the recording. Yeah, anybody else got anything going on tomorrow? All right, I got a different Beam single barrel. Supposed to be getting hit Saturday. Yeah. RC Cola and a moon pie. Oh. Actually sounds really good. Grew up with Faygo and a moon pie. Now, I hope I said Faygo the correct way, because if I had said it slightly differently, it would have sounded like I was using an offensive word to talk about the homosexual community. And I'm not about to do that here on this podcast or live stream. A lot of empty shelves already. Yeah, it's crazy how people are panic buying. Because of course they are. Here's what we're going to do. Just some normal indie snow, yeah. We aren't getting hit with what Kentucky's about to get hit by. Oh, Kentucky's going to get slammed. I'm not, again, not mentally ready for it. They don't talk bad about you, so you shouldn't talk bad about them. Yeah. Panic buying Blanton's, that's the worst part, man. No food, only Blanton's, yeah. Yeah, that's the worst part when everybody knows that there's a storm about to hit and can't find any Blanton's on the shelf. The next barrel code I moved on to was PLT and Buffalo Trace, yeah. PLT from Rare Character. What's happening? What is going on? Kyle and Chad are just blowing my phone up because they know I'm streaming. This is insane. My stream turned off? The stream turned off. It shouldn't have turned off. The Facebook group for what's on Buffalo Trace's shelves this weekend is still going to ask what's on shelves. I'm on my way. Do they still have it on the shelves? Have to resort to Claremont? Yeah. Do you think if I leave now, I'll make it to get what's on the shelves? You might. Stocked up on cigars today, so I'm set for anything. There you go. Cigar in a blizzard sounds great. Just you, Tony? It's very strange. It's always funny when they still get all hot and bothered when Eagle Rare is on the shelves. It is very strange. Because Eagle Rare is great. Goodness gracious. Love Eagle Rare, but not driving 3 hours for a bottle. Well, lucky for me, it's only 30 minutes away. Not sure I'd drive 30 minutes for a bottle either. I think I liked my first bottle of the Beam Single Barrel better. No, the Eagle Rares at Buffalo Trace are not typically barrel picks. Picked up an Eagle Rare store pick recently. It's supposed to be 11 and a half years old, according to a liquor store owner that picked it. I mean, those Eagle Rare picks can get up there in age. I love when you get a like a Mash Bill 2 Eagle Rare or a Mash Bill 2 Buffalo Trace. That's always funny. Eagle Rare picks also get up there in price. I mean, they do. You're not wrong. Shy Guy, I'd really rather you didn't break in at all. That's also true. I'll knock first and ask to come in. That would be very funny. Like, who is this guy? And it's like, a Shy Guy. And I was like, what do you mean? Only paid $44? That's not bad at all. It's a great price. I feel like that's what you should be paying, you know? Kyle's in the Twitch chat, and he's memeing. Oh, come on in, Shy Guy. Here's the shovel, and there's the driveway. Oh, there's Shy Guy. Or there's Kyle. Seen them at 99 in Michigan? That's crazy. Shy Guy, he said he was going to pay Tony in a bottle of Beam earlier, but he didn't specify what kind of Beam. He didn't specify what kind. No prepayment? I don't know what we're talking about, but hell yeah. Well, at first, Tony was going to pave. Tony was going to shovel Mama and Papa Ritter's driveway. And then Shy Guy said he was going to break into my parents' house. But then my dad said instead of break into their house to steal my dad's bourbon. And instead my dad said, you can just, knock on the door and come in. And he was like, okay, I can do that. And then my dad said, great, here's the shovel and there's the driveway. So good stuff. Also, a 107 pick for 175 is crazy. What? Okay, so is Michigan just like the Wild West for bourbon prices? I don't understand. Like, why is it so bad in Michigan? And why am I just now finding out about how bad it is? Michigan prices are very high for most. Why? Their control state? Really? South Carolina's crazy too. South Carolina is awful. Can confirm. For bourbon pricing, I mean. Long distance to bring the booze. It also might be a scarcity thing. And just the fact that people are willing to pay the extra price because they couldn't get it anywhere else. We got Weller picks here. They're always bundled with something and price around $200. They only give you a minimum sale price. Oh. Once you get north of Lansing, there's like ultra small towns spread throughout. Yeah, South Carolina is awful for bourbon prices. I've seen 140 for the grain to glasses. Ugh. My buddy sent me a pic of prices I'll post. Kyle. He paid $80 for a foolproof pick of 1792. I mean, that's not overly inflated. At least that's like $20 above retail. Bing bong. I mean, it's still not great, but it's at least better than, like 160. You know what I mean? Like, it could be so much worse. Uh-oh. Yeah. $30 over? I thought it was like a $60 bottle. Joseph Brazo. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. $700 on a shelf birthday or on shelf birthday bourbon. That's crazy. Ugh. Found a store at Christmas time that had a shelf full of Stag, $250. Goodness gracious. $300 for the Green Label Old Fitz bottled and bond. Got one for $55 last year, but who knows? Money is fake. Money is the fakest it has ever been right now. Son of a biscuit, I just realized I got to go get the mail tonight. Ain't going out there tomorrow at -10. Do not blame you. It's a great joke. Just got home and gonna belly up to some ribs. That sounds amazing. $700 on birthday bourbon is crazy. Yep, $300 on full proof, $200 on 12-year, $230 on Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Heritage, $180 on Penelope Cigar. I mean, come on, dog. Ugh. Picked up a 1792 full proof store pick at my local shop, $55 out the door. Well, I mean, that's not. Maybe I just thought I knew what the price was and I didn't. Okay, chat. Jeez. Up in the middle of Lower Peninsula, Michigan. Penelope Cigar is trash anyway? Really? I don't think I've ever had Penelope Cigar. Tony, come give me a hug. Jeez. People that show up on time get hugs, Kyle. Oh, they use light whiskey for it? Really? Why wouldn't they use their bourbon? Penelope Cigar Blend is trash. Okay, well, 2 people have said it. Their light whiskey is weird. Like, honest, and I am somebody who does like light whiskey. But I don't think that their light whiskey is very good. I think it's a little off. I think it's just a little off. I don't know what else to say. It's very strange. Jack Daniel's Balboa Rye was pretty bad. I completely disagree. No one else amazed that Coy Hill was priced at $800. What do you mean? Where did you see Coy Hill for $800? I'm not a Penelope guy in the first place, though. I mean, I have had some really good Penelope, and I've had some that is just okay. Penelope Weeded is a good buy. Is it the Weeded or the 4-grain that I don't like? The 4-grain is tough. Bottle I got was weird to me. Penelope Light Whiskey isn't my fave either. Compass Box Crimson Cask Scotch is pretty great. I didn't like 4-grain. I like the Penelope 17-year American Light Whiskey 138.8 proof bottle. I think I have a younger light whiskey from Penelope. And I think that's why I don't like it as much. I get the feeling that if I had one of the 17-year... Oh, you know what? I have had a 17-year, and it was really good. But I have one that is younger, and it's not great. Penelope. Bourbon sucks. Clifton said it. Clifton's confirmed it, folks. Also got to try a 10-year Michter's bourbon and was underwhelmed. 2024. The Coy Hill was right next to a 199 H. Taylor barrel proof. Those are elevated prices, though. I mean, that's definitely something that those prices were set by the store. The Coy Hill is not $800 like at retail. Prescription Bourbon, what's going on, brother? Cheers, Perry. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, too. Hope you're doing well. Just joining the hate train in the comments. Yeah, everybody's gotten into their high-proof hot takes. Perry just doesn't understand that he gets all the free stuff. Man's never had to buy bourbon in the last 5 years. That is absolutely not true. Coy Hill is sub 100. Okay, so in 2022... the MSRP for Coy Hill was $70. Hate fuels me. I paid $200 for an E.H. Taylor barrel proof bottle last year. Malort tastes good, damn it. I'll drink what I like and nobody else can tell me about how I like it, okay? Jeez, man. Coy Hill makes me sad. Really? It's all about Armagnac. I love Armagnac. Let's see what Bourbon and Banter's price was in 2024. $80. Kentucky absolutely does not get the Jack Daniels LEs. Like, not even a little bit. And it's so annoying. I don't understand why. I know that people are going to be like, well, you get all the other LEs. No, we don't. No, we don't. If you think that we get the other limited editions that are like Four Roses, that are antique collections, whatever, we just do not get any of that stuff. If we do, it is for it's for lotteries. We just don't get it. Never seen a Coy Hill in my life. On the plus minus side, I finally scored a Four Roses LE for $300. That's a great price for it because that's basically MSRP. California gets all the LEs, weirdly enough. So does Ohio. Only after a pour or two of Bunbur. Bunbur. That sounds like a Turkish word for some reason. Bunbur. We get most things, but Jack Daniels literally boycotts Kentucky. I don't see the... Maybe it's just because I don't see the LEs. I don't know. I still have a Coy Hill from 2024 that is not open yet. A backup bottle that I paid $89 for it. That is so good. I need Bunbur stat. Bunbur. Bunbur is just like a really good Turkish... just a really, really good Turkish dessert. I'll have a donor. and Bunbur. Oh, Cliffy's doing Beam tonight too? Friggin'. Oh. Clifton's doing cheap versus expensive Jim Beam tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern. So after tonight's stream, which is going to be, a little bit, I'm just kind of vibing. I don't know why I'm still live, honestly. We're just hanging out. We're chatting. We're having a great time. My YouTube chat is not updating for some reason. I'd love to live in Lynchburg for 2.1 days. I promise I didn't steal the idea. I mean, I know you didn't because I set my stream up like at 6 o'clock tonight. How do we convince Beam to take Old Crow seriously? I don't know, but they've got to do something more with it than Old Crow 86 and regular Old Crow. I mean, they have to do. It is such an important legacy brand, and I don't understand why they are so slacking on Old Crow. Look, there is precedent set now by them. Maybe I'll declare it my top bourbon of 2026. Who knows? But there is now a precedent that has been set by them that if they are going to reintroduce old decanters like the Beam Pen bottle, why is it not a possibility that they could do the Old Crow decanter, or the Chessman set? Like, why is that something that they couldn't reintroduce? I'm not saying that they have to do they may as well do the full chess set. Because, people would eat it up. It would be an incredible collector's piece. But I just don't understand. We should sack Perry to empower Clifton. What does that mean? You won't allow me to say sacrifice. Okay. Sack him. Sack. Remember that Sip a While you finally sent me way back when? I opened it Tuesday night. Still my favorite bookers. I love Sip a While so much. Old Crow 101 would be amazing. I yearn for good Crow. It would be so good if they actually did something real with it. Blood for the blood god. We offer blood for the blood god. Good old-fashioned sacking. This feels like you're baiting me to make a gay joke. I bait no one. Unless. Old Crow has always been low proof, though. It's not even about the proof. It'd be cool if they did something like bring it up to 101. That would be fun. But I don't even care. I don't even care if it stays at 80 and 86 proof. It's got to be a better quality product. That is all I care about. If it's got a 3-year-old age statement on it, throw some 8-year-old bourbon in it, at least. Do something. Do something to make it quality. Old Crow is such a storied product, man. We gotta do something here. Gotta do something. Got to pass by the Old Crow Distillery on the road to Castle and Key. I love that it's right there. It's so cool. Joe the Sample Guy. Really late with this, but I found my Beam Single Barrel 108. I'm glad you found it. I hope it was really good. Master Sacker. Where's my Old Crow chess? I mean, I haven't actually tried Old Crow since I was in my early 20s, so tonight should be interesting. My 86 proof bottle is too far away. Heraclitus Select, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Cheers to you too. Hope you've had a great week. Welcome to 10-Bip Live. Thought the 86 proof Old Crow was not nearly as bad as the 80, especially at 19 for the handle out the door. Yeah, I like the 86 better than I do the 80, but it's, I mean, it just could be so much more. Do a 3-bottle set called The Murder. Oh. I've only ever known Old Crow as bottom shelf trash. It's because it hasn't been good since, like, the 60s. Honestly, have never tried it. We'll have to change that. I only tried it then because my mom told me my grandpa used to drink it when she was young. Definitely not the same stuff that they put out now. Oh, definitely not. Definitely not. Because it was treated as a premium brand back then, and now, as Max says, Beam is suffering from too many SKUs, and they're just using it as a product that they can, like... Which mod approved that Shy Guy message? Which Shy Guy message? I didn't even see it in my... Oh, my mod... I didn't even have, like, the mod stuff on. Maybe it got deleted? That's funny. I didn't see the first one there, Shy Guy. That's funny. Yeah, of course we do. What are you talking about? Come on. Why did it flag that? That's so funny. I think it may have had something to do with Cliff's sack. Well, no, it had something to do with booty. For whatever reason. What has happened? I haven't had a sip of bourbon in like 20 minutes. Stay live until I go on. It depends on when... Where's the bourbon funnel? I'm going to show that. That's funny. I need a good transition into my live stream. It depends on when my wife and kids get home. They haven't left yet. So, haven't had a sip of bourbon in over 48 hours. Papa Ritter. Good for you. But to answer your question, where is the bourbon funnel? Wait a minute. Wait. Where's my funnel? Where's my funnel? I can't find my funnel. I have a funnel. I don't know where it is. I want to drink, but I think I'll hold off tonight so I don't feel like poop more in my MRI. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, bachelor night. Haven't had a sip in like 1 hour. I don't have any drinkable bourbon at the moment. You're doing it wrong. We need a funeral for your funnel. It's got to be around here. It didn't just go and walk off now, did it? You want to see something crazy? Here's a bottle you likely have. I will buy myself a bourbon if my Monday goes well. Wife took the funnel because Perry used it too often. Speaking of weird beam brands. Back when Beam owned Bourbon Deluxe. Come on, focus. Come on. Nope, okay. Yeah, best wishes to you, Shy Guy, for that. This is such... I don't know how old this bottle is. I don't know why that got hidden, Joe, but there we go. That'd be a fun one to add to my lineup tonight. I wish I could send this to you. Or at least some of this. The color on this is crazy. It's supposed to be at least 4 years old. It's only 80 proof. You got to drive that bottle to Clifton so his stream is complete. Reaching through your screen. Here you go. Here you go, Clifton. Oh, here you can see. Frankfort, Claremont, Kentucky. I need to try that one too. It's weird. It's very weird. Wait a minute. Wait. When I opened this, it let out a sigh. like almost a moan. It went, oh. It wasn't a hiss. It was not a hiss. I opened it and it was like like it had been holding its breath for months. No, Tony, it's good drinking. What's funny is once you get it into the glass, the color is not as dark. It's a fair bit lighter. Bourbon fart? Okay. You're probably right about that. Ooh, it smells stinky. Doesn't smell great. The smeller's the feller. It tastes better than it smells. And it's in one of those like plastic handles too. Gonna put that away. It tastes deluxe. It tastes different. It tastes specific. I think I might be good then. No. no, 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 no. No, 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 no. No. You don't get to You don't get to back out now, mister. You already committed. It's coming by the house next time. Dang it, then I'm all in. Well, dadgum. When you put it that way, a yes is a yes. Honestly, it's not terrible. It's just weird. I should do a stream where I bring out the weirdest bottles that I own, because I have some like that where there's no like rhyme or reason to why they exist. Like, aside from the fact that, you know, Beam just kind of owns that brand, or used to own that brand. They don't anymore. But I have a few where they're just kind of odds and ends that don't make any sense as to why they ever existed in the first place. Or maybe they're just like old bottles that I've had for a while, I guess. I don't know. I'll find a true through line where I can put the deluxe in there. Woo! I'll figure it out. Hey, thank you all so much for sticking around for so long as well. You're drinking cool things while I finish 1792 in RC. And by finish, I mean my third pour. I mean, it's not a bad drink. It just is like a vehicle for drinking 1792 foolproof more quickly. Boiling some frozen tamales. Oh, I love tamales so much. This was a fun one, but they all are. This has been a really fun stream. I expect twisted tea at my hangout. Keep it twisted. Twisted Tony. 1792 foolproof and Everclear go hard. You know what? That's what I've been missing for my best way to drink episodes. Everclear. I've been missing milk, and I've been missing Everclear. Jesus Christ, please don't. Everclear chasers are legit. You know what's also, I can't say that or else I'm gonna get blocked and my channel deleted. What if we also use cigars as straws for the bourbon? That's why they call it cigar batch, right? Yeah. There's no way you're making it 30 more minutes if it happens. I don't have Everclear. I don't have Everclear. I can't do it anyway. Let me go find some Bacardi 151. And, brother, Kyle, I don't have any. I just think the quiet pleading of Clifton is the comment of the night. Jesus Christ, please don't. That just killed me. Should I freeze distill Everclear to make Everlong? Okay, that's all I can play of it, so I don't get I don't get in trouble with YouTube. Pass my bottle through the screen. Oops, I spilled it into my computer case. Why is it smoking? Did that 1792 foolproof on Sunday go with Malort? No. No, I didn't mix it with Malort. But I should, though. Here's where Perry plays the Everlong intro on guitar. I could. Gotta go eat something. See y'all soon. Clifton, if I don't see you on stream, have a good one. Thank you so much for being here and modding. I hope you enjoy your food. And it's been a crazy. High key, a top 10 song all time. Man, I love Everlong so much. It's such a banger. A couple years ago, I was playing with my buddy Drew Crawley. Nobody knows who that is, but go listen to his music because he's a phenomenal singer-songwriter out of Willett Malort, out of Louisville, Kentucky. And we did a cover show. And we got to play My Hero a couple of times. And it was right around the time that I started growing my hair out. And so I went full headbanger playing. It was so much fun. No, Everlong's a fantastic song. Everything Will Malort if you're brave enough. Oh, Times Like These is such a great song. I don't think we've ever made it this far into the lo-fi playlist. I don't know this song. I really don't think we have. You know Drew Crawley. Do you know Drew because I have talked about him before? I don't think Malort is bad either. Greatest rock album of all time, Songs for the Deaf, Queens of the Stone Age. You just straight up know Drew Crawley. Oh, yeah, he was on Bourbon Turntable. Of course he was on Bourbon Turntable. I forgot about that. I'll send you a sample of the barreled Malort. Please do. I would love to try it. And the Foo Fighters will be played in my car tomorrow. Yeah, I totally forgot that Drew was on that podcast. My best friend's dad goes fishing with Godsmack's leads. What? My best friend's dad goes fishing with Godsmack's lead singer. That's about as far as I go, knowing someone who knows someone. Yes, please get him a sample. Barrel aged Malort's pretty great. Steely Dan's Aya is number one, but also helped ruin production going forward. Yeah. No dying. Yeah. Most guys are just normal outside of bands. I met Slash after a Guns N' Roses show in 92. Yeah. Or 91. Yeah, that was Papa Ritter. That wasn't me that was telling the Slash story. A good friend of mine regularly babysat for Megyn Kelly as one of the many crazy things he has done. Back when they were in a cult in Tennessee. That's funny. I met Malcolm Young in 96, 97. Well, I interviewed. Go listen. Go. I honestly think my 2025 Bourbon and Beyond interviews are some of my favorites because it's just a constant stream of like, I'm such a big fan of you guys, and like I love the fact that I got to, see you, and like I'm fans of your music, and like yada yada yada. But anyway, I watched this weirdo on YouTube drink bourbon. Yeah. Folks, here's the deal. My wife and kids are on the way home. I want to be you. I did a promo for Bar Cart, so I knew Drew and Ben and Kevin. Oh. Yeah, Mr. Interviewer. I've met some really cool people doing this podcast, and I'm very thankful for it. But I could have gone all night long, but I need to be a dad and help my wife out and take care of my children. I love you all. This has been an incredible stream. Tomorrow night, I will be recording with some special guests for the podcast. We should be streaming. We should be streaming it. I will let you all know. It will be a later stream than normal, if that happens. It's tomorrow night for getting effed up. Yeah. Look out on social media and the Discord for those of you who are in there. But thank you as always. I will not see you next week, as I said, because I will be celebrating my wife's birthday. Hope to see you on Clifton's stream. Hope to see you on tomorrow night's stream when I'm recording next week's podcast episode. Stay warm, stay safe, drink some good bourbon, take care of yourself, take care of each other. I love you. See you real soon. Till next time, though, I'm Perry. It's my Bourbon Podcast Live. Peace.